Hola, buenos dias, good morning. Welcome to the Saturday Morning Career Talk with Veronica and Nancy. My name is Veronica, and I'm a career counselor with Career Intentions. And we're going to have Nancy on with us as well shortly. Today's topic is called showing up. How do you show up in your life, in your personal life, in your career? And it's really important that we do engage in showing up um, and that we're present with ourselves and in our present moment. Hey, Nancy.
Hi, thank you, Veronica. So nice to show up this morning.
Yeah, showing up kind of late, but showing up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, did you say who you are and something about how you like to show up?
Oh, that's a, go ahead. You can present yourself and then give me an example.
Okay. Hi, I'm Nancy J. Miller, Coach Nancy at nancyjmiller.com. And one of the ways I like to show up is with joy and thankfulness. So I started my morning with a walk, and here in the Sacramento area, we actually have clouds today, and it got cooler, and I could just see the sun peeking through the clouds as if it's saying good morning to me, and just feeling thankful and that it's cooler. So I found ways to be thankful on hot days because we have so much more than so many people in the world. So always something to be thankful for and try to give joy back, whether, it's in videos or writing, and also to recognize when maybe we're not feeling so happy or feeling overwhelmed or feeling our emotions and not knowing where they're coming from. But,
Yeah.
finding something to be grateful for, whether you write it or you say it or you pray it, can really help the day, especially on those days when you don't feel like doing it. So, I think I've said before, showing up live is not my comfort area. You're better at that, Veronica, being casual, but I want to be authentic however I show up and stretch myself a little bit. And I was thinking about that today that, sometimes being authentic, I show up in a little different way for a different audience. I want to be real about myself, but I also want to meet the needs of, an employer, a client, a customer. So we do have opportunities to show up in so many ways, but sometimes it's kind of hard in some of the different ways. I think I've said before, I like writing where I can think about it and write it. And actually thinking about this topic, how I want to show up, I thought, I really do want to do more writing and find more ways to show up in my strengths, but also, showing up with videos and live and all these different ways we stretch ourselves a little bit and find ways to show up for the people that we want to share with.
Yeah, Nancy. So this topic is fairly, that showing up concept is fairly new to me. Can you define it in your
Okay,
context?
yeah. I've
Uh-huh.
been thinking about that. Showing up means, I've heard people say, even maybe prospective clients say, um, I'm taking a course, uh, like a webinar course. And, we want to help people as career counselors, coaches, and even as a life coach. I want to help people individually, you know, and see what's going on with them. There's some really good generic things on the internet, but, to see what each person needs and adapt to that is important. So just watching webinars, videos, there are so many out there. There's even resume builders, which build usually kind of a generic resume. And so there's just so much out there that you can just observe and watch and fill in the blanks. So showing up means doing something interactive, proactive, going out and making those connections, which, you know, sometimes it's easy to spend hours on the resume. Yeah, the resume matters. It needs to, you know, at least be honest and easy to look at, no typos, good grammar, all that, use your formatting. But you know, showing up would mean like on social media, you connect with people, you find employers. I know we've talked about that in different ways, but when you think about that is showing up, that is being there, showing your face, showing who you are, rather than just sitting in your space at your computer, which is, I find that easier to do actually, and just kind of fill in the blanks and watch things. And you know, a lot of people are doing that. It's easy to do. I like to do it, but to stretch a little bit, show up, whether it's a video, little resume with no personal information, whether it's connecting with people. And on social media, you also need to be authentic, but be careful and realize that when it goes out there, sometimes you feel like I'm in my little space with my computer. It's almost like my little neighborhood. No, it goes out to everybody and it can be found later and you never know who's going to see it. So you want to make sure the way you're showing up is the way you want to show up to any employer you ever want, and or whether it's customers, clients. I think, you know, you work for community college, so you have that job that you're showing up for. You also have your own business that you're showing up for. And I work for other people. I'm working for the Career Planning Academy. I've done workshops for NovaWorks and different ones. So we're still working for a company, even though we're working for ourselves. And you know, so many people are wearing different hats, working for a company or looking for a job while having their own gig going on. So
Yeah.
that's what I mean by actually appearing, whether it's connecting with people, videos, however it is you can connect to show who you are in the way you want to be seen to whoever it is. But to keep in mind that, you know, you're going to want to connect with an employer or have your business or whatever it is, and you want to show up in a way that you want to present yourself to whoever it is, because you never know who's going to see it.
No, this
So
is
that's it.
really great, Nancy. So what I'm getting from this is put yourself out there.
Yes, see, you can say it so succinctly after all this talking I've been doing.
Yeah, be presentable. Okay.
Yeah,
Um,
you said
Very
it.
important. Yeah. This is really important. When I was in the grad program at Sac State for career counseling, I always heard in our career counseling classes the importance of, you know, showing up how you said, but more like they called it like networking, but they kept saying like you need to put yourself out there and let people know what you want to do and just connect and network. But I love the concept of showing up because it encompasses a whole lot of parts that are really important, and it really does encompass like you have to get out of your comfort zone, get out there, connect with people, and be presentable. It's a great opportunity for networking. What you say or do is going to be seen by other people, and I really like it. It encompasses a whole lot of things. And
And I think when you say, I don't mean to interrupt, but I think when you say showing up, it's you think about how you want to show up, you know, intention in your showing up. And I have to say, I did presentations for some of the counseling professors at Sac State where we went to school. And one of them, I had written the book, Fire Up Your Profile for Life Work Success. So they asked me to come in and talk about it. And I won't say who, but I was in someone's class. And asked who is using social media, like LinkedIn. People are uh, graduate students. They're going to start looking for a job. I mean, if they haven't already, it's time to start connecting, especially on professional social media. So very few students, and including the professor, was not using LinkedIn. A little bit of maybe Instagram or something, but they weren't showing up. And you need to start that ahead of time. Start building your connections and care about other people. So the other thing is, besides showing up for ourselves, part of that is, what do they want? What do they need? Really thinking about who you're connecting with. So connecting goes two ways. And I think networking, it's a good concept. It's a little bit intimidating sounding. And networking, to me, it almost sounds like me doing something. And we do that at speed networking. Have you ever done that? Oh, that's another thing I'm not real comfortable with, but I've done it. And so you get there and you talk to somebody. But connecting is connecting back and forth, looking at what they want, what they need, what they're interested in, and how do we connect with that.
Yeah. Also, what I'm hearing from you is being really intentional,
Yeah.
connecting with others. And I heard from you as well in the beginning about being authentic, being authentic depending on the person you're speaking with. Because our authenticity, how you said, kind of varies depending on the
Well,
environment.
I think that's the trick, to be your authentic self. And this I find difficult sometimes, to say, what is my authentic self, kind of across the board, and then how to present that to different people. And that would be partly through connecting on interests, but maybe connect on interests with this person, a little different interests than another person. And we want to show who we are, and we kind of want to show our expertise, our skills, if it's about a job or a client, what we can do for them. But we don't know that unless we've listened to them, watched what they're doing first, so we can show that we care about them before we talk about ourselves. So that's the two-way connection.
Yeah. Very, very great topic, Nancy. Showing up, and it just encompasses so much. I really want to talk next week about interviewing.
About
And I have
interviewing.
a lot of personal insight to share about it for next week. I don't know if you're open to it, but anything
Absolutely.
yeah, anything else you want to cover about showing up? It's a really great topic. I think it's really important for us to take that into consideration in our personal life and in our careers as well.
Because you know what? Like you said, I'm glad you brought that up. Our personal lives are part of showing up, because you never know when that's going to be a connection. Besides, being our personal self in our personal lives, that's showing up too. That's who we are. And that's sometimes making important connections. And besides, it's fun to talk to people and care about people, even if you're not getting paid for it, right? So
Yeah.
I like the way you summed up very briefly my long conversation here. That was great. So I'm Nancy J. Miller at nancyjmiller.com, talking about relationships that are so important. If you want to visit my website, I have a free course, really fun. That's what people say. I mean, I learn so much myself when I do a course. So I enjoyed it. And I even have vegetable personality styles in there, so you can get a language for your personality while you think about being healthy, which is something you're really good at. Veronica, I have to work at it a little bit, but it's so important that I just put vegetables in everything. So I don't always see them. Sometimes I do, but having that healthy glow like you have, and we try to work at that, is part of showing up. So thank you for today, and thank you everybody who showed up live or watched us on the recording.
Have a great rest of your weekend, and thank you, Nancy.
Thank you, Veronica.
Okay,
Bye-bye.
bye.